I consider myself privileged and honored to introduce a remarkable individual whose career, whose life has exemplified determination, dedication, leadership, and excellence. Our distinguished chief guest today, Honorable Vice Chancellor of MUHS and retired Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanetkar, has made significant contributions across various fields, showcasing a rare blend of intellectual brilliance and unwavering commitment to service. अजब रसायन आहे हे. Madam is a medical graduate of Armed Forces Medical College, Pune University. She was a topper in CBSE boards. She could have got in any medical college. But correct me, madam, if I am wrong, but her father had insisted on her taking admission in BJ Medical College, but she was determined to join armed forces. So she took admission in AFMC by choice. She has had the distinction of being first in university in all the 3 phases of MBBS and was awarded the President's Gold Medal and Kalinga Trophy for the best outgoing student of the graduate wing in academics and in extracurricular activities. She completed her post-graduation in pediatrics from INHS Ashwini, Mumbai, and then specialization in pediatric nephrology from AIIMS New Delhi, followed by fellowships at NUH Singapore and GOS London. What an extraordinary academic career. She has 22 years of teaching experience. She has been professor and head of Department of Pediatrics and also ex-dean of her alma mater, AFMC Pune. Madam has completed Famer Fellowship in Medical Education and also has been awarded Best Teacher of MUHS in 2008. Madam has served our country with distinction as a Lieutenant General, a very prestigious rank, remarkable position in the military services. आणि मला वाटतं मॅडम म्हणजे ही जोडी नंबर 1 म्हणायला हरकत नाही. कारण I think this is one of the rare combination or unique combination, I would say, where both husband and wife, they have been served military services as Lieutenant General. As sir mentioned, she has been awarded the Vishishta Seva Medal in 2014, the Ati Vishishta Seva Medal in 2018, and the Param Vishishta Seva Medal in 2022. So year by year, every time, she has raised her own bar of excellency in distinguished services. She also serves as a member on the Prime Minister's Science, Technology, and Innovation Advisory Council. I'm confident that you all now agree that ajab rasayan hai. She brings in a wealth of discipline from her military services, the kind, tender heart of a pediatrician, the wisdom of a teacher, and the visionary mind of an administrator as a Vice Chancellor of MUHS. Madam, we are all eager to hear from you. So let's welcome with huge round of applause the Vice Chancellor of MUHS, Dr. Madhuri Kanetkar.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Joshi, Dr. Mrs. Andrade, Dr. Avinash Supe, all the senior faculty members here, office bearers of the SRS, students from all faculties. At the outset, I'm the one who should be thanking Dr. Joshi for convincing me. It wasn't very difficult because when it comes to any forum which has an integrated collection of people like you all in this August gathering, it's very easy to convince me because this is where the substance is, this is where the cream is. And added to the thing were 2 factors. One is Dr. Avinash Supe being here, who's been the ex-dean, and a mentor to me for my Famer Fellowship. So I really am lucky about that. And secondly was this amazing day that, look at the coincidence that today was Lokmanya Tilak Punyatithi, and we started with a homage to that. So I think this was destined to be here on a very nice day. But another very interesting thing came to my mind while the Dean was telling that this is 27 years. Is 27 a beautiful number? I just read in the papers that the gymnast Bills from USA, they said amazing at 27. So SRS, there you go. Perform beautifully just the way that she did at 27. So the other reason I accepted was the theme, harmony, balancing health, uniting disciplines. Thank you so much for that, coming up with this idea. Because while we are growing in silos of excellence, we need to take time to reflect and see how can we unite disciplines and how can we balance our own lives for health. And in this picture, if you see this thing in the center, of course, Dr. Heal by Self, balancing, but that little, is this coming? Yeah. So if you can see, this is not working. I'll see with which is the one?
This is the green.
Okay. So if you see this little picture here, you all will wonder what it is. But this was something that the Pro VC, who is from the Ayurveda faculty, myself, our DSW is from homeopathy, we all sat together and created this for our integrated research cell at university called Drishti. Drishti is an acronym for Department of Research in Integrated Systems of Health and Translational Innovations. But that is the vision, where if you see, it begins with the ancient, the tree which starts with a foundation with Ayurveda, our scriptures, because there's no point of education which doesn't have purpose and philosophy. And it goes on to be a very balanced, this thing with two hands, where you have on both hands the Rudraksha, but the stethoscope below here. And this integrated approach of everyone coming together can heal the world. MUHS believes in that, and that is the vision of Drishti. So this is a thing, and we thought we should, claim for an IP on this, because this was actually sketched out over sitting together over a cup of chai, and then we got an artist to create it, and it stands in MUHS as our thing for uniting disciplines. So I think this was something beautiful and a topic after my heart, and I thank you for that. So how do I plan to, address you? And since we have a battery of all ages, across disciplines, I can see Rajeshri from physiotherapy. I mean, there's really lots of people I can recognize here. So let's identify the problem. How do you evolve? And the lessons learned, my own evolution and lessons as, we just heard about the various roles I played. What is the way forward of uniting disciplines? Some reflections and the importance of balancing health and resolutions. So I thought this was something I'll try to cover. And I used the same slide recently in Nagpur, that we are healthcare professionals and we say, who is sick today? The medical profession. So, and I think your two themes really clever. One is holistic care not adequately addressed. So you need balance. And doctors overburdened and stressed. So I think both these aspects I've highlighted from my common slide that I use, that the medical profession is ailing, and there's a history which goes down a long way from the Boer committee, how we failed, and it is for us and the future generation to correct where my generation missed. There's a great divide and a need to build a bridge. This is just sharing some statistics. Nearly 65 to 70% population we know is in rural regions with inequity for access to healthcare, and the numbers are increasing even more in the urban slums. And I think Sion Hospital for years has really looked after a huge population that feeds here, and I salute each one of you working under difficult circumstances. 20% of vacant posts at PHCs and 40% absenteeism. So this is the rate where, and medical doctors and healthcare persons are very less. Even Ayush doctors 7 times more in urban regions. It's a wrong concept when they go in for training that they say that no, they are serving the rural. And unfortunate is 80% of Ayurveda and homeopathy doctors apprentice and practice allopathy. We all know this. But is it their fault or is it the systemic fault? I think we are all to blame. If we integrate and don't feel threatened by each other and work together, I think we can change this system. These are some of the challenges. If you see from the available workforce, allopathic, if it's 8.8 per 10,000 population, those actually practicing and with a degree is just 5. But look at the level when it comes to nursing. For every 6 per 10,000 traditional medicine, there's just 1.9 who are adequately trained. And when it comes to nurses, it's even 17.7% is what statistics say we train per 10,000 population, but only 6 are with good training and good qualification. So this gap is really huge. There's always this dilemma of quality versus quantity. I know we doctors are very upset that colleges are mushrooming, but where do our students go? We have 65% of the world's population, which is young, below 35 years, in Indian population. So we have to train them, skill them, and they have aspirations and the world needs them. So if we have to keep in sync, we need to teachers need to think out of the box and have our research aligned to this to find solutions to a problem and not research happening only in labs. The rest of the statistics are here. So when the why is clear, they say the how is easy. So we know that we need to make a difference, we need to balance, we need to unite. We know the why is now very clear, I hope. So let's see how to do it. We have challenges which are there, but we have opportunities. The National Education Policy of 2020 has kept medical education and health education out of its purview because we are on a council. However, there are huge things which we can actually incorporate by when integrating. And MUHS has already changed all fellowship courses, 200 over, into competency-based with academic bank of credits with transcripts as to what skills will be achieved under this. We can do skill-based courses, which we are working on, a degree plus program, I'll come to that, integrated course for family practice, not the MDF increasing cost of education, an integrated approach to research. This is SRS, so I'm going to spend a little time on that. The NDHM is giving huge opportunities. We need to innovate to find solutions. We know mental health is a problem. There are hardly any psychiatrists and psychologists, but digital technology, I know government has launched e-Manas, Telemanas, which is for curative. But what are we doing about prevention? I think that's where our challenges lie. So this is, I thought I must show what happens, we are, I think the UGs, I would call the Gen Z, the postgraduates are the millennials who think differently, act differently, behave differently, and are very keen to find solutions. So I think we need to use our wisdom much before this rut that they are in of collecting degrees, of just getting information, knowledge, and the wisdom is coming out too late. And I think, so I was in this same dilemma that how can I change this? And that is why when I was finishing about near 40 years of military service, the question came to my mind, what can I do more? Because this is what pains me. And I thought I'll quote Dolly Parton, which says, if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, then you are an excellent leader. So I thank SRS for inviting me here because I hope to, do more, inspire more, to think a little out of the box today. So this is the journey. And in this, I would like to say that from student to vice chancellor, you see the student is, bent with, because of the mischief that is there, and you stand ramrod straight at senior faculty, and then when the administrative loads come down, see what happens by the time you're vice chancellor. The only difference is here is natkhatpana, here is wisdom. Dono bend forward ho jaye. So I think that is where we can relate to each other and find a way forward to find. But along this journey, I would like to question all as to, are we adding skill sets? We need to evolve ourselves through this journey with new skill sets, though we say lifelong learner, but we need to change with the times, get into digital technology, get into AI, there's so much, there's administration, there's a lot we need to learn as we evolve on this path. So this is the journey that we normally follow in medical colleges and in various nursing, education, patient care. This is, and in our time, this was just a necessary EVLEC thesis for MD, which you did and finished with. I envy the younger generation, which has an option to come and join in SRS, to learn research methodology, to have STS, to have all the opportunities. You don't have to wait for the gray hair to reach research. You're starting early. So I think this is something fantastic. But where the problem is today, education happens in colleges, patient care happens in hospitals, and those hospitals which are attached to the medical colleges, there is a link, but there are large number of hospitals under the government which have no teaching, so there the poor go, and research happens, the best ones happen in ISC, ICMR labs, DBT labs by scientists who have no clue to what is happening on the ground. Their interest is citations, H-index, citation score, publications, patents, and getting the next grant. So who is going to change that? It can only be, Dr. Supe and me were talking, can we clinicians become better researchers and go in for a dual degree program like MD, PhD, and go down to basics to find solutions? So with that, I thought I'll quickly run through my interest from patient care and education, how it started with very small baby steps of in a small peripheral hospital in the military in the 80s where there were no NICUs, creating a NICU in a, innovations, and started puja bell for alarms, putting mothers, no monitors. But we found within a year of small protocols, 8 babies below 1 kg survived even in that corridor with no infection. So learned a big lesson, big satisfaction from small innovations. So each one of you in this hall, look around you for a problem and bring out a small innovation which is going to be your journey. Don't wait for only big things. The second was again, when I went into nephrology, there was a huge lacking of anyone working in bladder dysfunctions. And the question of after having trained abroad was, how do I make it available for our poor patients? So we looked at and did scientific studies, and these have now become the algorithms of where urodynamics is not available. So therefore, if we have, you can always find a way of doing it better or in a simpler way, because when you're trained in tertiary care centers, even if you want to go and work in this community, you're not skilled and trained. So if you start thinking and give yourself the opportunities to find solutions to work in resource limited situations, you'll always come up with innovations, and who knows, that innovation may be what the world needs, generated right from here, the SRS. So what you need to know is that where there is a will, there is a way. You have to be sort of alert to what affects people. The same thing, the dialysis was so expensive. Using simple things for recycling, teaching mothers how to use their pressure cooker. It was nothing major. Or the first newborn, premature baby, I did a peritoneal dialysis. There was no fluid warmer. We wrapped up in a green towel and put it on top of the radiant warmer. I mean, it may sound very archaic, but it's an innovation. So these are the way, and every day you all are finding simple ways of jugaad to find a solution, because come what may, we treat patients. But you never know that this may be the starting point of actually something coming out of it, and this may be a worth it to make it into an innovation. And the importance of collaboration, which I learned, that you want big publications, you need to collaborate. Small things in piecemeal does not work. So teamwork is important. And once I moved out, got all the younger people too, and we've got the neonatal jaundice, but Indian nomograms were not available. So we pooled all the resources and came up with 10 hospitals joining to produce this. And then went back to basic research and set up laboratories for looking at certain common problems of what hyperlipidemia happens to the endothelial function in nephrotic. So this was how what I'm trying to show is it has to start with baby steps. I mean, my first research was something so innovative and so simple as making a rice-based ORS in a small peripheral hospital. And at those days, you had glass IV bottles. Instead of IV, I put rice-based with salt in it and started giving oral, and only 8 out of 250 required IV. So these were ways we found, and all of you all, I'm sure, come out with lots of things. So with that background of having seen that you can do, even in spite of, like in the military, we don't even have the luck of, being in the same hospital of long-term research. So that is a challenge. People ask me, Rolling Stones carry no moss, how did you do it? But I said, I changed that challenge into an opportunity. I said, I came with an expiry date when I went to a hospital. Quickly, in the first 3-4 months, identified problems, found solutions, and completed everything, because I knew in 3 years I have to move out. So I think that is where you challenge yourself with challenges. You can always find opportunities to do that. So this was something in universe, and this is where I would like to share, where a multidisciplinary research unit with DHR was set up, again with timelines. Creating everything requires timelines and things, so that all the subsequent people after me also continued to do. So with that background in mind, when I came to do something different in MUHS, I thought the biggest strength of MUHS was having all departments, all faculties under one roof. And I think at some point when the Parliament took a decision to move from traditional universities to health universities, there must have been somewhere that integration was behind. But unfortunately, we continued to we just collected them and became an affiliating university. Ki exams conduct karo, inspections karo, and there was no soul in the university which permitted this. So I said, this will be the one big challenge I'll take on and see how this work out. And there I quote that perseverance is hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. So people did ask me, aren't you tired of doing this for near 39, 40 years? But I said, if I have to make a difference, I have to be perseverant. I'm sure each one of us feels. It's just that some of us don't get an opportunity. We have to create our own opportunities. So this was something we started. And within 3 months, again, we created a vision document, which is there on the MUHS website. Because if you commit in writing, it's just that when you're taught, you write a case sheet, that means if you've forgotten something, you go and check back. When you write up a paper, you realize the value of your work. So the same thing, committing it, putting it in the public domain was my way of saying, look, I make you a promise that in my tenure, again, I came with an expiry date. I had a 4-year tenure. So I said, okay, I'm going to think of what I'm going to do in first year, second year, third year, fourth year. And overall arching thing was, among the various vertical SWOT analysis, what we did was we said, first year for infrastructure, second year for academics, third year for research, fourth year for sustainability. And I'm proud to say that MUHS Parivar and all the people on the board of studies, now we are all aligned. We are all aligned and we are working in that direction. So we've achieved actually what we have to achieve in 4 years, we finished achieving a lot of them in 3 years. So that is the vision. And I remember Dr. Supe was there. I took a lot of inputs from experienced people. I went back to all the previous vice chancellors, all the people who had been senior deans, DMER. Am I being ambitious? Can I do this? Took their inputs, made amendments. So that is what is needed, that we have to find ways to get our inspiration and do it. And this is how we started by saying that cross-pollination is important in earlier career to enable mutual trust and respect to bear good fruit. We all know that this is how it works. So therefore, at MUHS Parivar, I'm so proud that the VC is from allopathy, the pro-VC is from Ayurveda, the DSW is from homeopathy, my URD is run by dental, I have an OSD for nursing, and the IMETT is with the physiotherapy. So this is true integration, and this is how we sit together to solve problems and find solutions. So it's excellent that this theme is taken, and I'm sure you all will find it. So taking the same cue, how we do different way of looking at research. Being aware of community. You're really lucky, you have a huge community. So if you all take on as a center of excellence for urban slums, and all your MD thesis, PGs, Everything is towards problem solving from every department. Look at the value that you will bring in, and from that come your innovations, and from that your solutions. So you need to have some philosophy, which is the overarching theme for all the research that goes on in the institution, that it's all targeted towards one particular, you become a world leader in that, because no one will have the kind of infrastructure, the kind of patient load, the kind of ability to innovate that you are all doing on an everyday matter. It's just that we're not documenting in a pooled manner. We can bring out absolute excellence. So we took care of this by looking at the regional center Nagpur, creating it as a center of excellence for tribal health. So in that we created a project called Blossom. Now Blossom is an acronym. MUHS has become very fond of acronyms. So everything is in acronyms. Blossom was for we went to GDC, GMC, Nagpur, found out what were the common problems. When they said these will come late, it was breast cancer, liver and lifestyle, oral cancer, sickle cell anemia, sexually transmitted diseases, osteoporosis, malnutrition. That was Blossom. And it was not start by writing or funding. It was an idea empowered by everyone, interpathy sitting together, created this thought process, went to the tribal commissioner and said, please identify the villages which really need, which are Naxal-ridden, where your health services are poor, and have Adivasis. You won't believe it, with less than a year, 300 students, 22 teams, faculties across pathies, they went to a one weekend was for one village, and they stayed sometimes overnight, remote areas where they had to stop somewhere, and they generated data on more than 6,000 Adivasis who have, and now that it's mind-boggling, the data we've put in experts to analyze it, from which will come out the problems and the solutions. A simple example, we found a huge number of pre-diabetics and hypertensives and wondered, is it a genetic, is it a changing pattern of the food that with the rations and the rice being given to them, malnutrition is covered but the lifestyle has changed. Another was huge amounts, adolescent and pre-adolescent girls and boys, not even aware, it's not, the mother sewing gutka into the dress of the child a point came out, because, and pre-oral cancerous regions were huge in the population. So this was, from this now will come out solutions. What is the kind of screening? Can we use AI? Can we use telemedicine? Can we reach the unreached? And policy decisions are expected to. That's why we call it. And we use that opportunity. While students went in the buses, they were taught research method, basics of research, sample size, research methodology, field research, clinical epidemiology. So it was learning while working, not just taking theory classes. So if you can innovate and use SRS to take such things like groups of students, you will definitely make a difference, and this is something innovative. The other thing is an SIP program started by MUHS. I have had amazing students from Sion attending it, and SIP we all know is the Structured Investment Plan, and I've called this SIP because it's my Structured Investment Plan for the future of health. So in this we ask applications, we have learning goals, we match them with abilities to train, we match them merit-wise, pro rata, integrated, we permit crossover. So when we had MUHS did the Panchakarma SIP, this thing, we had 2 from physiotherapy, 2 from Ayurveda, 1 from MBBS, 1 from homeopathy. So there was a mix of all, and there was a huge amount of integration. And this has come out over years. It's become this year we could send 810 students to over 80 institutions. And it's just, and one assistant, so it's just a thought process, but it's amazing what, ideas can be taken in. And this is our Ayush department. Besides the Drishti, we conduct online Ayush clinical meetings where all pathies come in and discuss chronic problems. So it may be something like rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, hypertension, diabetes, and those kind of cases are presented, and this is conducted online. We've also started Prakruti. Again, Prakruti is an acronym for Panchakarma Rejuvenation and Kayakalp Research Unit and Training Initiative. So these are some of these things where we are really taking integration for improving well, because traditionally, and I know most people have this thing, 1 degree, post-graduation, super specialization. If I can't do it, then I start thinking. But actually, you already got your prefix of a doctor with just the undergrad. You're already a physiotherapist. You can start thinking of what I can give back while I'm learning, while I'm doing. You don't have to keep all going on that same single path. So I think this is where we are trying to do that. And the other initiative has been opening a state-of-the-art gene health lab in Mumbai, in Pune, taking a trust building. Basically, it was again at the regional center to make it available for have-nots. And this training center is now being affiliated to Sassoon, where we'll run a genetic clinic, a prenatal diagnosis, and a cancer where the clinical services will be in Sassoon. The lab has all the scientists, the state-of-the-art equipment, and we have promised for the poor patients from government colleges and hospitals, it will be done at 1/10 the cost. So BRCA1, BRCA2 is being done for 500 rupees. Thalassemia screening for 100 rupees. So this is because today genetics is available to the haves. We have to consider, if we have a conscience, we have to, while that is happening, we have to create. And you won't believe it, so many private practitioners working in various fields have come forward to give 1 day of the month's free service in this clinic. So that is how there are people willing to, we have to create pathways in colleges. And this is the latest, this thing that we are the first health university to have an incubator given by the Maharashtra State Innovation Society called Disha. Again, Disha is a direction, but Disha is also developing innovations and systems for healthcare association. So this has it's 2 months old, but we've already started with the first incubator. We found funders. And therefore, for all of you youngsters sitting here with an innovative mind, if you have an idea and it works, and you want to get out and become an entrepreneur, we will show you how your own university will be available for you to give you this. So this is now a new thing. And this is something, again, for the have-nots of the students who can't come into prestigious colleges like Sion, but I'm sure faculty and students can contribute to this. We've just got the LMS ready. It will be launched 15th August, where free of cost, first course that is being made available to all students across all pathies, all faculty, is the Digital Health Foundation course. It's a state-of-the-art 13 modules being made with assessment and certification and 2 credits for completing the entire course. And you can download the certificate. You can't go to the next module without the first. But what is beautiful is it's been created with IIT Mumbai Koita Digital Foundation Center. They have supported us. We created the storyboard, best of national, international. And I'm very proud to say that this course, I'm going to Delhi on the 13th. The National Health Authority is adopting it through making MUHS a health partner for putting it on IGOT for the national use free of cost. So this is something which can be done when we sit together and go across disciplines and find solutions. But even nicer, and here I really, fondly remember a very, very dear friend and a colleague of mine, a younger colleague, Dr. Sujata Kanhere. I don't know, and you all may be knowing, she was a pediatric neurologist working in Somaya College here. She just passed away last week because of COVID. She got lung fibrosis. But look at her grit and determination. That is the grit and determination. And I bow before her in humility, because one day she just sent me a WhatsApp message. I'm so depressed. I was taking an academic career, and now I can't stay without nasal prongs and oxygen because of lung fibrosis. And I just sent her one message back, but your brain seems to be working absolutely well. Can you lend me your brain? And she said, ma'am, what can I do sitting here? I said, let's create a degree plus program. She coordinated, faculty across our colleges have helped. We plan to have 30-40 modules to make skill-based learning, competency-based, hybrid mode, where the student can take the classes curated we are beyond the degree. So it could be something in biomedical waste management, basics of research methodology. The sky is going to be the limit, but the first 10 modules I dedicate to Dr. Sujata. She coordinated, sat there, and when they were ready, she even drove down with her oxygen cylinders to MUHS and presented to us. That is the grit and determination of this lady. And therefore, we are very proud to dedicate this Degree Plus program to her, in her name, and this will be launched again 15th of August. Our LMS is all ready, all the clearance is done. So when from our website, people can log in and do all these courses. So this is another innovation where, because we're integration, I'm going on about integration, we've created a family education program for this, which the fellowship course is ready, just 11 months. There are lots of people after MBBS would love to actually hands-on. So this has been actually developed with every faculty and every pathy coming together and having a true course developed which has the best of each pathy. Therapeutics remains of your original pathy. We are not promoting khichdi or interpathy work. Therapeutics remain, but we are understanding each other. So why can't we combine Garbha Sanskar with antenatal care? Why can't we, this thing, yoga with lifestyle disorders? So we are actually producing, understanding this, and I think this is something. We are also produced for the postgraduates an accelerated clinical experience program so that fellowship centers can have people from other places coming in, and some of the integrated clinics that can be run in medical colleges. I've sat across and found out that pediatrics and certain, we've just brought out a meta-analysis on massage therapy, which allopathy and Ayurveda, the best of both, which has been published. So I think there is a huge scope for integration. And we've also given government a concept note on School of Integrative Health under MUHS. So we'll keep that aside. Last part of my thing is reflections. How did I start thinking so much out of the box? Nothing I've done in the last 3 years is something that I was working on. It was just like you all, keeping my mind open, trying to be innovative, trying to find solutions. That is the bottom line. And what helped me is probably the discipline, the determination, and the dedication. But more important, when you start on this journey, you need a team. I can't do this alone. I has to get out to bring, I always quote, the path from illness to wellness is I nikal jata hai, we aata hai. The spelling changes, wellness comes. So that is something which is important. You need to build and motivate a team. I'm very happy. 600 people in MUHS are now today, #MUHS Parivar, which work as a team. Provide targets, write down, put out that this is what we hope to achieve in this timeline, and your team then starts aligning. Everyone sees the goal post and the goal. Otherwise, we are all in Brownian moment going in different. We are all shining stars, but we need to make a galaxy with teamwork. And a sense of belonging and ownership. Today, we do belong to a college, we belong. But I said from that, when we reach a particular, the country is now 75 years old. Elderly parents, you start taking ownership and caring for them. So from just belonging, let us take ownership of what we do. And I think that is where. And that is where you just don't get tired. So if you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. So and each one of us has a vision. Drishti is God-given grace. We have to just open our mind to our surroundings and not just look, but actually register and see what you look at. So let's take a self-check. I was going to put a quiz here with your phone and a QR code, but I thought in your minds, just tick off each one. How much of this, because that goes to the second part. I exercise regularly. Because yes, I do. I sleep at least 7 hours daily. I sleep 8 hours. I eat healthy home food mostly and avoid fast foods. Yes. I am a smoker. No. I drink alcohol regularly. No. I take vacations with my family. Yes. I go on treks and trails. Yes. I spend me time daily. Yes. I have hobbies. Absolutely yes. I read a lot. I love attending music, theatre, literally cultural events. Do I take time for that or not? Yes. I practice mindfulness meditation. Yes. An hour every day. I have diabetes, hypertension, CAD. No. So I mean, this is, I think we all need to take time to check And a lot of us will have a lot of yeses and nos where it shouldn't be. So why is there? Because we all know that when we are physically unfit, we can go to a gym. But what happens when we are mentally so we need to work on the mind also. And since you're head of psychology and psychiatry, I think you'll agree with me that we need to bring mindfulness and bring a robust mind, fit mind in a fit body. And for that, in the PMST Act, we created an application called Manas, the Mental Wellness App. NIMANS, CDAC and AFMC. It's launched in parts. It's available as an app. And we've just got 6 modules, but we are going to the next phase. We are looking at how to upscale it, put in new models. And the 6, you all can download it anytime. It's called Manas. It's there on Apple Store, Google Store, everywhere. And it talks of mindfulness, sleep hygiene, time management, social connectedness, and it's in a gaming form. So this was created under this thing, but I think we need to. And most of all of us in the health field have a very stressful, piling OPDs, unending work. After that, you have your own home, your family, there will be parents, there will be children. So in that, how do you structure? I think if you have to, while learning the science of medicine, we have to also teach ourselves the art of healing. And for that, our left brain and right brain. So that is why it's important. If not till now, please take some time off. MRD is here. We had a little town hall and I said, how many know each other, all the residents? They just knew how to refer to one department. Am I correct? Referrals. But there are no friends. How many, besides this, how many read other books? I say 80-20 Pareto principle. 80% of the time do your work, but 20% of the time there is life, yeah, learn to live. Work hard, party harder. So I think profession is paramount. There's no doubt, because your competence gives you confidence. Confidence gives you courage of conviction. So you have to keep on acquiring and be perfect at your profession. But don't forget to have fun. As a dean, I played Holi with my undergrads. I had tea with them in the deans. I featured on the Femina. I mean, there was life. Life has so much. Let's not forget that. We'll always be healthy. And I think it's important to have a fit mind and a fit body. So we still every day, if there's one take home from both of us, I think we spend 1 hour every day in the morning for our walk, for our yoga, for our meditation. People ask me in the university, you come in fresh in the morning at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you're still so fresh. How? I said, because first 1 hour in the morning, I've recharged my batteries, rebooted. I can take everything for the day. I think that is important. And therefore, it's not enough to say, let's, be one with nature. Reuse, recycle, reduce. Japanese bring the word motanai, and then we say, wow, the philosophy. But that was always part of Indian philosophy. Don't we remember the days where toothbrush खराब हो जाता है, then you use it to clean it. वो भी खराब हो जाता है, तोड़ के उसके पीछे नाड़ा डालने के लिए. So there's so many things. You keep reusing, recycling, reusing. But we forget it when and we need the Western people to come and say, take your apni culture, Sanskriti, we are forgetting. So what we did is in university, we started the jungles which were there, and they said, you need to, no VC stayed there because it's all in jungles. So the first day when I went there, I said, why can't I? They said, no, you have to stay in Nasik. I said, no. They said, this is all jungle. There's only bibtia and saap ikde yetat. So I said, ठीक है माता एक वाघीण इकडेच राहील. So that is So that is how, you bring about a change. So my next TED talk, for those who heard my previous ones, is going to be, if you don't get what you want, just create what you want. You're very happy. So that is where we've started cleanliness drive, tree plantation, drip irrigation, and my husband really helps. So this is, that was how that lake, you should see the green lake. So this was just 2 years ago, and this is how it looks now. This is the Bhoot Bangla. All have been renovated. This is my house, this is registrar, this is COE, wellness center. Everyone has moved into the campus. Where no one lived, everyone has. Now the Biptia came only when I was in US on a holiday, and he walked straight into the guest house. And they told me, Madam, himmat tar baga, wagin gele aur Biptia guest house मध्ये आला. म्हटलं आधी बाहेर काढा. reservation room booking navti त्याची. So we sent him back. So this is the beauty, and this is not a shack in Goa. This is the canteen we've created in MUHS where we have our meals. So it is something which is, we have enjoyed doing it. So when you start enjoying doing it, you don't feel tired anymore. And this is the garden of 5 senses created around that lake. And the plantation is as per, the tongue has a fruit orchard, the eye has the color vision and acuity of vision, the nose has the flowers, the hearing has the whistling and the trees and the chimes put in. So this is where we spend. So how can I be tired? I have to be rejuvenated. And this is the MUHS Parivar which is doing it. There is no I in this. We all have achieved this together. So this, and we continue with Spandan, which used to be one unit somewhere. Now we've decentralized it where people, and 5 times the number people can attend. Avishkar was a beautiful event where 1,500 kids. And since it is, I know I'm going a little over time. Dean, do you have your permission? So this was something, I must share a story. Avishkar was, the governor asked MUHS to arrange Avishkar in MUHS this year. So we had 1,500 people coming in. And I just thought to myself, I said, we've done such a plastic-free green campus where last Friday of the month, entire university at 4:30 comes out. We've got areas, including VC, we pick up if there's any dirt. So you will find spotless university campus. So in that, I said, now, my God, 1,500 people will come and they'll dirty the whole campus, because I just calculated in my mind, a person drinks water 4 times. That's 6,000. In 4 days, 24,000. If I give plastic bottles, 24,000 plastic bottles, can you imagine? And if I give paper cups, for 24,000 paper cups. So what did we do? Again, we came together. The Pro VC, me, Registrar, DSW, kya karna chahiye? And then we tried all sorts of ideas, and someone said, let's give everyone a water bottle. Brilliant. We gave a steel water bottle with Avishkar written on it. And on the inaugural function, we just told all the students that, we are very proud of our campus. Please enjoy it. But I want one help. You must have wondered why this Avishkar, that is our trial. It's our innovation, our experiment to see if it works. You will find no this thing except water filling points. Over next 4 days, please drink from that bottle. Can you imagine 4 days later, not a spot of dirt in the campus? And you all can get on to the MUHS and see we created a competition also. That's innovation. We said green campus pe reels banao jisko sabse zyada like aayega na, that will be winner. We'll give a 5,000 rupees. There was the person who got such beautiful reels were made. We got free publicity, and the best person got 66,000 likes. So that is the innovation. Innovation is nothing very fancy, we have to think of problems and find. And they went back so thrilled in the feedback. They said, this is something we learned. It's such a simple thing, we'd like to do it in our college. So I think these are some important ways. This is another point which I'd like people here in the SRS to know, with a thought process that policy, government, we keep ourselves away कि हमारा patient देखना है. But if you have to bring a change as we become administrators, you need to collaborate. Blossom wouldn't have happened if I had not asked the tribal commissioner for help. So we've created a society called Sangam, which is a synergy of academia, networking with government, allied health and medical professionals. And if you see the chief secretary, now she's chief secretary, but we created it when she was with GAD and then later as home secretary. She's the leading it as a Takimi fellow. MUHS is a partner in the policy department of IITs. And we hold annual conferences where we look at public health problems through beyond just doctors. So I think this is something very interesting. So in the end, I think I've spoken a lot. How can we all make a difference? I think we are all here getting or giving degrees, but let's not forget the basics. Evidence-based medicine is important, but experience and context matters when you apply it to resource-limited situations. We always wait, ye kharab hai, wo kharab hai. We know exactly who should be doing what. Can we say with, what can I do? What can I begin with? Education is for society. Am I contributing? I mean, the public is paying huge taxes to give me subsidized education. What am I giving back? Option and solutions are difficult. For the younger generation who gets lost, Google Map is always there. But I say there's a different map. All of us need a mentor. I still need mentors. When I have problems, I go to my mentors. We need an attitude of never say die, and a passion which comes from the heart, which will always find solution. That is the map for today. Money is very important, but it can never buy you happiness. I'm quite happy with a small car or a small house. We wait for time to implement ideas, but we need to make time to do what you want and must. And for me, nation comes first, and I'm sure for you, it is not just being patriotic on 15th August when the flag goes up. It is how I can do a small thing in my everyday. Each of us can do small, small things. And I would love you all to read the book, What Doctors Must Learn, from my mentor and teacher, Dr. Y.K. Amdekar from JJ, who is, and I had the honor of being his student, but writing a foreword for his book. So find an opportunity to be happy, find your own ikigai. If you've not read the book, please do read it, because finally your pleasure comes from doing something what the world needs, what the society needs, what the community needs, what the family needs, what the friends need. Where the moment it goes beyond me, me and myself, there is more happiness. And I humbly stand before you with the joy of having served as a doctor, a teacher, and a soldier, and achieved it all. Thank you so much for a patient hearing. Jai Hind.
So we'll have felicitation. I invite our president, dean, academic dean, and SRS team can join for this felicitation. Dr. Jagannathan, Dr. Merchant. It's a moment to be captured on camera and to be cherished in our hearts for a lifetime.
Thank you.